Welcome back. The Back Factory Artist Studios in Johannesburg will, from the 29th of January, be hosting a solo exhibition by Wezile Harmans titled Do Not Trust the Borders. Curated by Boitumelo Makousu, this project aims to interrogate the migration policies that have resulted in the dehumanization of certain bodies through the colonial visa application processes. Wezile Harmans joins us now on Zoom to tell us more about this body of work that will be on show until the 25th of February. Wezile, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, viewers. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you on the show this morning. Wezile, tell us more about the inspiration behind Do Not Trust the Borders.
I think it's such an instructive title from the start. It just seeks curiosity. And the whole exhibition came from my ongoing series of research around the concept of displacement, interrogating the concept of displacement and disposition. I was just very curious about examining human bodies, how they move from one place to another, how they react from the buildings and the things like that. So my interest started from there, and then without realizing or being aware that there's more layers into displacement and borders, not just the physical borders, but also psychological borders. How does one negotiate space and position themselves within all these situations or trials that we're going through?
In your observation and analysis and possibly research about migration and the displacement of persons, what is it that you've uncovered, or what is it that you've learned?
I've uncovered that there's a negative narrative around the concept of the borders, and that has made us within as Africans to have a certain narrative within one another. And my curiosity was how we see ourselves through other people, and how that simple line has made so much significant role in our lives that it has held us back to actually be seen and heard that in every possible way that we do exist. So in all these works, my intentions was to actually reveal of what we think we know, or what we've been presented into us, instead of us trying to find ways to seek for solutions or to seek for ways to know better about the concept of borders.
And having said that, I mean, this body of work investigates the concept of displacement and dispossession. Take us through how this is explored through the pieces that will be installed for this project.
I think when it comes to the pieces, I was very deliberate about the kind of material that I want to use. For instance, bandages. When you look at someone with a bandage, you constantly position yourself in a place of kindness. It's like a caution. So the materials that I've selected is materials that have lived longer, that have a significant role in our lives, that one can look at them and relate in any way, and they also create some conversations within the space or within yourselves. And I try to have kind of work that will also seek for consent for the views or to the audience that come to the work, to the exhibition.
Now, Wezile, what are some of the mediums and the material that you've used? I do understand that they've been selected as an exploration of caution, as it were, and as an attempt to initiate conversations around healing.
Yeah, more specifically self-awareness, in terms of whatever happens. I have this work that I have that is, it's titled We Regret to Inform You. So these are envelopes that are handwritten all the time. So my whole intentions writing all these thousands of envelopes and make them archival was not about protest art, about the statement We Regret to Inform You, but it's also how do we react from such statement, how do we position ourselves into that right after getting that. So it's also about psychologically and physically our positioning in a way that will best describe us or will benefit from that.
All right, I've mentioned in the intro that this exhibition is curated by Boitumelo Makousu. Tell us more about this working relationship with Boitumelo and how you've fused your ideas together to see this project come to life. Yeah,
okay. Back Factory introduced me to Boitumelo as a curator recently, and she's an amazing human being. The first time we actually had our meeting, she literally just said, I did have my research about you, and I genuinely fell in love with her work and the way she is so consistent in checking up on the work. So our relationship is basically purely genuinely about how we feel about the work, how we feel about the subject of the work.
Let's talk about the kind of roles that each one of you played in this project.
Cool. Boitumelo is she's a curator. She's hands-on in administration, in making sure the layout, the catalog, how the work will be presented. Yeah, there are other things we were talking about that we shouldn't kind of mention that will actually happen in the opening day of the exhibition. So she's hands-on in that. Unfortunately, I cannot say that till people go to the opening of the exhibition, but she's an amazing human being.
And I believe this exhibition is supported by the African Artists Foundation as phase 1 of the 2022 Young and Unframed program, yeah?
The exhibition is supported by AAF through Back Factory, but also the African Arts Foundation. They've also awarded me funding to further the research around the concept of displacement and the narrative we have with the fellow Africans and what the other fellow Africans have the narrative before they leave their country and come to South Africa and when they're here. So I was very interested on how we pass our narrative within each other from what you have read and when you actually arrive to the place. So it was more like challenging the published kind of information and oral education and the importance of oral education.
I quite like how you made this project to be quite abstract. I mean, take, for instance, the use of bandage. You say that, it can be viewed through the lens of being courageous or it representing courage. It could also represent, being hurt or damaged or healing, as it were. Was that your intention, though, to make it more abstract?
Yeah. I think my intentions was to make work that will find a way for you to have a sense of humanity, a sense of awareness about your environment, about your spaces around you, and me on that process doing that. And there were so many layers in this subject that came and revealed. So it's the kind of work that I could say it's not ready-made and it's done here. It is from the A to the B, but it's an ongoing kind of work.
Okay, Wezile, great chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. So where do we view this project? And for those that will be coming through to view this project, what experience are you hoping they'll walk away with?
The exhibition opens on the 29th of January at the Back Factory, but the Back Factory will also have a virtual tour to those who cannot make it to Johannesburg.
Okay.
What they can expect is that the exhibition, of course, will be opened with a performance and which was supposed to be a surprise, but here we go, I said it. But the exhibition consists of installations, video works, and mixed media works that are interpreting the whole subject or the concept around displacement. So they should expect themselves coming willingly to a space and to engage.
Yeah. All right. Wezile, great chatting to you, man. And I must say that the use of envelopes, we regret to inform you. Hi, it evokes so many emotions, eh?
Yes.
All right, thank you. That was multidisciplinary art practitioner Wezile Harmans. And we've been discussing his forthcoming exhibition at the Back Factory Artist Studios in Johannesburg called Do Not Trust the Borders.